Hey, Lisa Marie, how are you? How's it going? Hey, Gloria. What's happening? Mikey, how are you? I'm not working tonight. Taking it easy. How's it down there in Detroit? You getting that slippery stuff that we have up here? Getting a lot of like clear ice. Taking it easy. Well, you never know when people are going to be on here. I log on when I think they're going to be on here and no one shows up, and I jump on when I think everybody's probably eating and people show up. No method to the madness. The green light is a little tiny light. That's a camera that should be facing towards me, facing outside, and because it's so close to the picture window, it gives that. I should put a piece of black tape over it, but it's too lazy. I haven't got around to doing it yet. Yep. You keeping that refrigerator magnet on your refrigerator? Hey, Catherine, how you doing? Yeah, Lisa Marie, I'm up north, 180 miles north. We don't have any snow either. You can see that little bit of snow on the grass. Hey, pretty good, Catherine. How are you doing? How are you doing? Yeah, I wish we'd get a good blizzard. We don't even have any on the horizon, although Saturday it's only supposed to be a high of 4 and a -5. Weird weather. It's 29 here now, which is pretty good. They canceled school today because of ice. It stayed real moist last night instead of getting colder. I guess we're supposed to get some flurries tonight, but nothing worth a shit. Oh, no. Always activities. This chat, that's what's going on behind Walgreens. Other than that, no. Oh, are you free? And we're going to get, oh, wow. Wish it was here. Yeah, we'll probably get that, Mikey. It's been just kind of a warm, sloppy winter. I mean, the days they've called off school is because we get a day or two of rain and then it would get down to like 10 degrees. There's no way they can salt all that. I always wonder what it's like out there sailing around the Great Lakes. I think they shut down the lock, so there shouldn't be anybody out there, but it's pretty interesting, like particularly Lake Michigan. Yeah, Mikey, you're living in Wisconsin. You need to be looking forward to snow. I wish we'd get a real blast. When I was in Chicago, I lived down there for about 13 years. I was there for the second and third worst snowstorms. It was awesome. I was living downtown in a condo, so I didn't need to drive. So now I notice, you might not believe this, but I think these birds know when a good cold streak's coming on. I can tell by how much they're eating the day before, believe it or not. And that's before it gets cold. I have a couple of those tube feeders, and we're getting that crazy cold like Saturday. You'll see them going through that feed left and right. And that's before it gets cold. Then when we get forecast some of those warmer days, they back off. It's like they're eating someplace else. Yeah, but January 15th. Yeah, you're probably right. I knew it was coming up. Yeah, actually, I had a buddy of mine up here. He's a doctor, and it was a drug rep of his. She was two years away from retiring, and she and her boyfriend were on their snowmobiles. It was a week or 2 weeks ago, and she ended up falling through and died. She was paddling around trying to get on the thin ice, and it kept breaking. And the boyfriend tried to get her, and he kept falling in. So they finally called 911. They were giving her CPR while she was still in the water, but she died. Now, when you're fooling around these big lakes, particularly the Great Lakes, no way you get me out there. And they were out there at night. Yeah, she died. Yep. And there was another guy that fell through yesterday in Houghton Lake, and another guy that fell through out in Saginaw Bay about 4 days ago. Every year it happens. You look at the Saginaw River where it comes in off the Saginaw Bay. You'll see people ice fishing out there all the time with running water 2 feet away. When I was a kid in high school, there was a lieutenant in the police department, really nice guy. He was always very kind to everybody, and his son and daughter-in-law went through Lake Erie. They never did find them. They didn't even find the snowmobile. Yeah, Catherine, if you ever look at, if you look at depth charts and the flow, there's a lot of water moving under the Great Lakes, even when it's frozen. Even we got those record colds a few years ago. It doesn't all freeze. And even when it does all freeze, there's still a lot of water passing underneath. And any time there's any movement, it kills any of the ability of the water to freeze. Even up here, I bet it'll be 4 or 5 degrees. We'll probably get it in these creeks and these runoffs. But you go down around the Detroit River and you'll see it opening and closing all day long. Before the state took over Belle Isle, I'd be down there like 3, 4 in the morning sometimes. There'd be wolves running all over the place. I mean, not wolves, coyotes. I would actually see them walk across the ice over to Windsor. I don't know if they were coming or going. But even with that super bitter cold, it was interesting to watch how the ice opened and closed. If you look at those videos that I do, I did have some pretty good video of that record cold where it was frozen right down to the bottom, which was about 30 inches ice, which is pretty significant for Lake Huron. But Lake Huron, where I go over at that Tawas Point State Park, it's very shallow around there for quite a ways out. And you can go over there like January today and there'll be open water up the yin yang. And it looks like if you walked out there, you'd just be drowned in 10 seconds. But actually, you can walk out there quite a ways. And I've been out there sometimes doing videography or taking photographs, and there'll be open water all around me. And these people are blowing their horns and waving. They're afraid I'm going to drown. They don't realize it's only about 20 inches deep. If you go on Google Earth, and look at Tawas Point State Park, you look all around that beach and where it kind of curls around into the bay there, that's super shallow water. Yeah, I bought a GoPro to do time lapse, and then we kind of had those unseasonably warm winters, and before you know it was kind of outdated, and I never got the right scenario to videotape time lapse ice. It just never worked out. Mikey, how far are you from Green Bay? Yeah, I'm fascinated by that winter ice. Love that. People don't realize, a lot of people don't realize it's lights out pretty early if you fall through the ice and you can't get out. You're a goner pretty soon. Yeah, I agree, man. You just get that. I, I, I jumped in for a dog once and I fell through another time as a kid. And even as a kid, I remember it just taking the breath out of me. They say old people, when they go and jump in like that, it'll give you a heart attack. Yeah, blue ice is beautiful. I love going up there around the Straits of Mackinac, especially before it freezes and you get windy days. Beautiful. You get those people that take their snowmobiles where they take those old Christmas trees and they line a safe route to go from Mackinac City over to the island. Yeah, there's no way in hell I do that. Those straits, not only are they super deep, that's fast water all the time. You'd have to have rocks in your head to try that. That are drunk. A lot of these people that this ice gets up here in the winter, they've been drinking. Oh, gotcha. 360p, yeah. That'd be enough of a reason for me not to want to do it. Illuminati. Yeah. Welcome. Glad you showed up. Where at in Canada? You know, I notice on these live chats that, we'll talk and, sometimes I take off and somebody else kind of manages that kind of thing. And if they're longer chats where we've talked for quite a while, 2 or 3 hours, something like that, they record and you can play them later. And it seems like the people that don't know what chats are, they'll come on and they'll see that later and they'll click on it and they'll rewind. And it's probably frustrating. You got to scroll around to, get the gist of what people are saying. They seem to get pissed off. I get a lot of emails from them, like, what is this? Why are you doing this? No, I don't blame you, Mikey. What are you fishing for up there? Walleye? Yeah, man. Hey, how you doing? Oh, Ontario. All right. Oh, crappies, bluegills, and panfish. What kind of size bluegills you getting up there? Oh, okay. Okay. I've never been ice fishing. They do a lot of it around here, though. No kidding, that big, huh? Hello, Malta. Yep, Canadian up there. You have a neighbor. That's right. From Ontario. No, no, I'm at home. Wish I was on the road. Love driving. It's I want to concentrate on getting more uh, interviews in Detroit. Yeah, I got a couple other ones on there. Catherine, you know how to do that moderator stuff, don't you? Oh, okay, good. Yeah, thanks. I certainly have my share of enemies on YouTube, so keep an eye out for them. The best clue is that they don't have any avatar, established one, and they'll start out with some weird introduction. You know, I had a video on some of those women that I was interviewing in Detroit. One was by, her name was Cricket. Very young looking, but she's definitely of age. Anyway, I had 2 or 3 people get a hold of me in the last year, want to know where her video was, and I'd go on and I'd go in my playlist, I'd see it, I copy, paste a link, and they'd always say they couldn't find it. Well, I realized yesterday that video has been locked private, and the only person that could have done that or place would have been YouTube. I looked through all the process. They probably think she's underage, but she's not. So I don't know if I'm going to fool with it or not, but that's what happened to the Cricket interview, if any of you have ever asked me about it. Yeah, I mean, I kind of in a way, it doesn't bother me that much because she is young looking. And with all this child, she looks the same now as she did when I first started seeing her 4 years ago. But they're probably protecting that child trafficking, exploitation, that kind of stuff. And somebody probably complained, but I don't remember ever getting an email from them or a chance to appeal it. Yeah, I don't know Shay, but I've seen a few of his videos. There's a guy on here, Detroit Camera Crusaders. He's friends with him. I see they put up a video the other day, but I've never talked to him. I've talked to the other guy. Yeah, no, that YouTube, boy, they were really weird for a while. I was within one warning of getting booted off for good over pure bullshit. Hey, King Red Dog, how you doing? Yeah, YouTube got crazy for a while. They gave me 2 strikes. One was because I mentioned I was making some baby bird food for some starlings or blackbirds I found. And I put in the title, how to make crack and that I got a strike for that. But if you clicked on the video, you know I was struck. So I can kind of get that. If algorithms are doing the searching. The second one was one of the girls working the street that flashed her breast in a video. And I didn't even see it when I was splicing the video together. I knew it couldn't have been anything too crazy. But that was my second strike. And if I'd have gotten one more strike, they would have booted me off for good. So and they had went back on those videos. They were like 2 and 3 years old before they pulled that bullshit. And I thought, well, it's not going to be any problem finding something that bad. I couldn't have taken the time to look through everything. So I wrote them a letter, emailed them. They basically told me to get screwed. So I told them, yeah, cancel my channel. I'm not going to kiss your ass to stay on here. They didn't do that. And then they ended up backing off. Good job, Catherine. I always boot them off for good. Right on. Yeah, you caught them. See, you knew the keyword. It's always something strange like that. Now yours looks like they will be deleted. Oh yeah, deleted. Yeah, timed out. Yeah, good. I boot them off for good. Good job on that. You were right on that. Yeah, they were going to take it down. It was about a year ago. No, I wouldn't. I would have no way have restarted the channel. This is old news. Yeah, she caught a troll. Yep. But I thought I was gone for good because they picked two, and there had to have been worse stuff than that out of 4,000 videos. So I basically told them to cram it up their ass. And then everything got fine. I hate to say this, but YouTube was really doing a lot of crazy stuff for a while. And that all turned around when that kook went in there and shot that place up and killed at least one of them. And even though you obviously don't handle your YouTube problems by going into the headquarters and shooting them, if you would have been dealing with YouTube from a channel perspective and you were able to witness some of the stupid shit they were doing, I mean, they were costing people their livelihoods over just dumb stuff. You didn't have any chance to appeal. When you did, they told you to get screwed if you didn't like it. But after that employee was killed there, all that stuff seemed to go through the wayside. I'm not saying that's a way to handle it. Maybe it's coincidental. But YouTube's now on a full court press on being super nice and helpful. Yeah, no, my argument is, here they're getting 20 million views on some 12-year-old that's half nude and not doing shit about it, and, striking people for an obvious joke. It just didn't make any sense. They made a ton of enemies in a little bit of time. And there are a bunch of other platforms where you can host your videos. I've checked them all, but none of them seemed as good as YouTube. And, I think I've got like 4,400 videos, only 3 of them that actually garnered any serious results, viral type stuff. The rest of them, I usually get 100 views. That's about it. Those videos were 2 and 3 years old. Hey, Anthony. 2 and 3 years old before anybody watched them. So it's not like there's any money in YouTube. Since 2007, I've made a total of $880. And I gave it all away. How you doing, Anthony? No, I didn't. Yeah, miss you too, Anthony. Who did they sign? Yeah, he wasn't even finished typing, Catherine. That's a bunch of bullshit. That is not true. 1 million views is $2,000. Absolutely no way. There's some, Catherine knows the name of it. There's some site, Sling or Slade or something like that. If you type in like anybody user's name, they can calculate probably through algorithms how much money they made. Yeah, I hear that all the time. I don't really care. I do it for fun. It's no way is it 1 million views, $2,000. Total bullshit. Yeah, that's what I do, Malka. I mean, if they didn't pay anything, it'd be fine with me. I didn't even know how to get money out until about 3 weeks ago. I knew I was accumulating money, like 30 here, 40 there, but I was giving it out anyway to the people that created the views that I got where I made the money. It's basically 4 or 5 interviews with the women down in Detroit. That's it. I probably would never make money on any other videos I'll do. You know, I just keep videotaping the things I like and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, lately, YouTube has gotten trying to get way more user friendly. And, you know, when you make money, they make money, blah, blah, blah. And that's fine. These FTP servers are ridiculously expensive. eBay is the first site that I knew of other than porn sites that could afford one. I mean, it's got to cost just massive money to like have even a shell of what an eBay platform would be. I mean, just crazy money. So I was very appreciative. That was fine with me. I mean, I'd be doing the same thing whether I got $1 or not. But from people I talk to that depend on the income from YouTube, it's way down. I mean, they went around stamping out accounts for like bullshit reasons for a while. No dirty language, no nudity, no trafficking, drugs, anything like that. Here you got 12-year-olds running around half nude singing, and they're getting 20 million views, and YouTube doesn't do shit about it. They're very inconsistent. But anyway, I got a video. They're getting more user-friendly, and they talked about how does profanity affect your advertising. And basically, a little was okay, a lot was kind of forget it. So if you get on their radar, it's kind of like speeding ticket with an insurance policy. Like every day, I've got to appeal 2 or 3 videos. In those chats that we have, there's a chance that 3 days from now, I'm going to have to appeal YouTube advertising algorithm because I may have had inappropriate content in one of the chats. I didn't at all. It was just like we're doing now. But I'll appeal it, and a few days later, they'll say that my content is approved for advertising. But you know, I don't blame them. You know, trying to figure out what videos are popping up where. But I would hate to get on their radar for a bunch of stuff, and every time you ask for a review, they found that you shouldn't have done it. It'd be game over probably. I guess that Patreon works. You can sign up for that or enable it, and people can pay you. Or you can like name a dollar amount to belong to the chat and stuff. It is just like so ridiculously bold. I mean, there's a girl that I watch her channel once in a while that's a heroin addict that was going through a methadone treatment place. And I kind of check in there once in a while. And she set up that Patreon deal. You got to get approved by YouTube. And basically, it was for people to try and pay her deductible on her health insurance for methadone treatment. So, and there's a guy that has a flying channel. He's always saying, if you want to put a buck in my Patreon cup for a coffee, go ahead. I just think it wouldn't be for me. I just would never do that. I mean, this is like a friendly, like friends, common interest. You're going to ask them to start chipping in money. I mean, YouTube's free to begin with. I see that GoPro goes around these channels too, looking for people with like quite a few subscribers, and they'll give you a free GoPro camera. GoPro doesn't really fit for what I do. Even driving, it doesn't. You know, it looks like you're doing 1,000 miles an hour. You can never zoom in good like you can with a handheld camera. It's just, I don't think GoPro would work for me. And they never contacted me either, so I don't think it's going to be much of a problem. Yeah, I wouldn't have known how to do it if Kyle, the 12-year-old that's on here, wouldn't have walked me through it. It's a lot of bullshit, man. There's a lot of things on YouTube that are not very user friendly. You'll spend all day on there trying. Hey Dan, how you doing? You'll spend all day on there trying to figure out how to like convert advertising money and actually put it in an account. Even to put like a subscribe button at the bottom of your videos took me about a day. I got to be in the right mood to learn something relating to YouTube or having a good night's sleep. You getting kind of that damp, some of that damp weather up there, Dan? Mid-20s. Yeah, well, just hang in there. You'll find someone. Yeah, thanks. It took me forever to find some music where they didn't block my channels because they say it's royalty free, but there's so many strings attached to that. I pay for all those songs that I put on my videos, but I was told that that's for personal use, not business, which arguably YouTube could be construed as being business if you're making money from views. So I haven't gotten busted on this in the last week, although I'm not supposed to, so I hope it keeps working. Thank you. Probably Florida, Dan. Dan's probably going to Florida. All over. Wow. Now, why would you go down south, Dan, the best part of the year in the UP? There you go, Catherine. You hear that? Send photos. Key West, all right. Yeah, I still do that too, Malka. Don't worry about that. Yeah, I know. Wow, that would be a good time. What view is the lamppost? That's just like this. They live in a condominium, and every yard has one of those. I don't know why. It's stupid. I'd rather it was just dark, but everybody has one. There's like 6 of them, or 8 of them. However many condos are here. I think eight. 8 of them. See, right across from me, that was supposed to be condos, just like the one I live in, but it never happened. And it's deed restricted, so the only thing you can build there are condos just like these. And I don't think that's going to happen, so it'll probably always be a vacant lot. Where are your sunscreen, Dan? Yeah, they just enacted that new law January 1st. If you get caught even having a bird feeder with feed that splashes over, you'll get $100 ticket. No more feeding. Yeah, outside my window. Yep. No, not up here. They were not. We're not. The contractor got in trouble halfway through. Never finished them. I would feed the deer. I do feed all animals, but I haven't since this thing's been going on. And we haven't had a very severe winter in a while, so they'll do fine as long as they can get to this grass. But it's that deep snow and those cold, long days that start to thin them out. I'd probably still feed them if that happened. Yeah, outside my window. Yeah. Not me. No way. Key West is cool to visit, but I'd rather be up here now. Yeah, I see turkeys around here a lot, but not around my condo. Yeah, I do. I do feed them. They come up on my balcony and eat the bird seed that fell off. I can hear them walking around there at night. The dog barks. Yeah, that's how I am, Catherine. Go over to Mexican Fiesta, Catherine. Get a Mexican dinner. That bad, huh? Yeah, they did change. I know they did. Catherine, when did you notice that change? I started eating there like in the mid 70s. Yeah, gone down here. Yeah, they close early too. I liked it when before they put that new bar addition on that front. Liked it back in the old days. They used to steal a lot of cars out of the parking lot there. I'm going to be taking out my garbage for a few minutes, so it's not that I'm ignoring anyone. Good girl, huh? Girl, huh? Yeah, that's all right. Never too many moderators. Cold. The extremes are killing you? Which ones?